Just a few months after a new and long-awaited homeless shelter in Kenora opened, authorities announced their intentions to shut it down for 45 days. Here to explain what's going on from our studio at Confederation College in Thunder Bay, our Northwestern Ontario Hubs editor, John Thompson. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Jan.
Now, before we get into what's happening, this is a new shelter, right?
Yeah, in March, Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford cut the ribbon on a $1.1 million shelter, and that was the culmination of efforts that have been happening in Kenora since 2016, when the Kenora Fellowship Center announced they would no longer be accepting patrons overnight. The Northwestern Health Unit stepped up since that time. And then they moved into the basement of Knox United Church, which is the historic site of the Kenora Indian March in the 1960s, which was the Canada's first civil rights march of its kind for Indigenous peoples.
Now, it sounds like an odd question. They've only been open for a few months, but help explain why the move to close it down temporarily.
There was a rash of crystal methamphetamine that is coming in from Winnipeg, headed eastward. And Kenora is ground zero for this in a community that has had a severe homelessness problem population for generations. That traditionally has been mostly alcohol, and that moved into opiates about 10 years ago. We're now seeing a vast expansion of crystal meth use. So the shelter became this epicenter for illicit drugs, according to the MPP, for human trafficking, according to the Nietzsche Friendship Center, which operates the shelter. And this was a government facility that was perceived as aiding and supporting illicit activity. In the meantime, a building called the Lila Block, where somewhere between 70 and 150 intravenous drug users were living, burned down within a short time of the shelter opening. And the city started dumping truckloads of rocks and cutting trees down in parks where intravenous drug using was happening, which pushed all of the drug use to the major streets. Kenora is also, to make matters worse, under construction this season, so there's kind of an L shape that you would take on the traditional Trans-Canada Highway from Main to 2nd Street, and you can't drive through downtown Kenora without seeing visible intravenous drug use in the streets.
What's the reaction like in the community?
There were public meetings on July 31st to have the community come out and have a say. And both before, during, and after that period, business owners are extremely upset. The core of downtown businesses, and even those businesses outside the downtown core that are contending with nearby drug houses, are saying that their businesses are being devastated by crystal methamphetamine use and opiate use. There is also a long-standing grassroots community support for people who are enduring trauma and addiction and mental health issues in Kenora, and that community has sort of jumped to the defense of people who, in this case, have nowhere else to go, and on August 12th are going to be washed out into the street. And so it really has starkly divided this community of 15,000 people.
All right, John. Well, it's a very important story. We'll continue to follow up on that. I know we'll have updates on tvo.org on this important story. Thanks again.
Terrific. Thank you.
The Agenda in the Summer with Nam Kiwanuka is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.